Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Community Services and Economic Development Committee meeting for January the 18th to order. As we gather, we would like to acknowledge on behalf of Council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Madam Clerk, could you conduct roll call, please?
Chair Rivimo?
Present.
Councillor Legree?
Present.
I should actually have stated Chair Andrew Dick. And Rivimo is sitting chair on his behalf. Also should be noted, Rivimo, that we do have Councillor McDonald in-house, yes, and we have quorum.
Thank you. Are there any declarations of interest, pecuniary or otherwise? Seeing none. All right, thank you. And our first presentation is the Downtown Renfrew Business Improvement Area. So if they could take center stage, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Lorraine Vincent, and I'm here on behalf of the BIA. We're here today to present to you what we presented to our members on Monday at our annual general meeting, and also to bring forth our budget for 2024.
It's not moving over.
Okay.
I'm just.
You can put my family photo up there for a second.
Okay.
I like to take it up once in a while.
It's because it's a PDF. There we go.
Right. Thank you, Carolyn. So as you'll be able to see on the slides, and I know most of you did receive this package on Monday, we started off just explaining exactly what the BIA, that we are voices for the businesses of our downtown core. We went into, I won't go over all of that. We went into just break down our membership numbers for the services, retail, and restaurants. We then spoke about our membership engagement, which we did have a really large increase in 2023, so that was fantastic. And our executive director got a lot of emails circulating and some great information from the town as well. We spoke about that we have moved to the Hive, which is fantastic for us to be able to collaborate with our other organizations. We then spoke about some events and our promotions and highlighted some, and we will continue these same events and promotions for 2024 and with hopes to add a few more. We brought back our ribbon cutting as well in 2023 and had great success and welcomed many new businesses to our core. It was really nice to see the town support and council and our mayor at all of them, so thank you for that. We also awarded in 2023, Scott Shoe Store was our Member of the Year at the Chamber Awards, which was really great, and we had almost all of our board members there as a team, so that was awesome. And then we went into our projections and priorities for the 2024 to 2026 years. We did break it down. Our main vision this year will be in Renfrew is to welcoming in our vibrant destination that offers the people of Renfrew and area and its visitors a unique and authentic and high quality experience in every sense. Again, I don't think I need to read through all of this right now to all of you. If anyone would like a copy of it, please let us know. And then we went, again, just broke it down a little further into our next year's coming up. And then Mel went over, our treasurer could not be here today, so Lisa is going to give us a little run through of our financial report and budget. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Lisa Vincent. I'm doing this for Mel, so bear with me if I'm not as accurate as he is. Basically, you have the 2023 financial report up on the screen there. It lays out our levy and rebates and grants and any revenues we've collected over the year. A couple of our events actually were revenue generating. And gift certificate sales, which end up being a wash because once redeemed, we reimburse the business that collected them. Broken down in our expenditures, it's kind of a general breakdown. If you wanted to see a little bit more specific as to the breakdown of some of the expenses, there's a slide that follows with budget and actual, and that breaks down a little bit more by event versus just events in general, a little bit more about specifics on beautification versus just the overall category. The BIA student, that again, that was a wash actually because we were reimbursed for that through a government program, so that was in our revenue as well. So if you have any questions, please certainly feel free to interject. The bottom line as of 2023 is we had negative net revenue, but we did have a surplus bank balance starting the year, and we had held on to that from previous 2 years, 2022 and 2023, in order to have the two $10,000 payments for the loan repayment to the town. And thank you to council. That's been now taken over, that we do not have to pay that any longer. So we're very grateful for the fact that we have that extra bit of a buying power when it comes to doing some of the events and promotions we have up and planned for this year. For our budget for 2024, you will see we will have a levy of $80,000. Much of that does go towards the BIA director's salary, but there is going to be a rebate for the 1 year in order to transition to the new set of guidelines that we will be following following the review of the BIA and our positioning suggestion and what we've all agreed upon. So the focus this year with the town taking over beautification will be that we work, certainly with input regarding beautification with the town, but we will not be financially responsible. So we're going to be able to take our levy and allocate it to events and promotions and continuing many of the great events that we've had, as well as adding a couple of events that are a little bit more broad to encourage an event for restaurants. And going forward, we're hoping to poise to move forward with events for any other services and businesses that are not sort of covered with the retail swath. We are going to develop our loyalty program to continue bringing people downtown, and as far as we're going to establish a branding for the BIA and roll that out across all of our materials and advertising, and maximize social media, and the goal is to grow our following, and so that we can provide to our members that we have a great asset with a good following, and that they can share in that as well. So that's kind of the Coles Notes version of it, but if anyone has any questions, certainly feel free, and I will try to put Mel's hat on and answer as best as possible.
It's not really a question, more of an observation. I noticed that your gift card sales the revenue was lesser than the redeemed, so it looks like people are holding them for a year or something?
Well, some of it would be that for sure, because they don't have an expiration date, so they can be redeemed at any point in time. In 2008, that became legislation that you could not have an expiration date on them. But some of them were used for promotion, that like the Secret Santa kind of thing, where they were given out to patrons of the downtown core to be redeemed. So those are a direct expense of the BIA for those.
Okay, good. Thank you. Questions from members of council? Councillor Legree?
Through you, Chair. Just not really a question, just a comment. I just want to thank Lorraine and Lisa for presenting again to us today, and also Mel for Monday. And you know, I went through the budget for 2024, and it looks like there's lots of cool events happening, and I'm still hearing from Freaky Friday that happened last year about how good it was, so I'm pretty excited for this, so thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. And again, my apologies for not making I had a homelessness thing in Ottawa I had to attend, so I was doing a presentation, so I couldn't skip it. So thank you again, just to repeat what Councillor Legree has said. And I have a motion that community services and...
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Peter, I forgot to mention, I need to also mention to you our nominees
Okay.
for our new board. Whew. Sorry, guys. So again, with some changes happening, our board will go down to 5 members, and the nominees coming forward are myself, Lorraine Vincent, Lisa Vincent, Mel Blimke, Ben Oates, and Jenna... Yeah, I need to say that properly. Jenna Blair Parachanokiak. So I'd like to put that forward. Thank you.
Thank you. So, and with that, that Community Services and Economic Development Committee recommend that Renfrew Town Council, number 1, receive the 2023 Board of Management Annual Report for the Downtown Renfrew Business Improvement Area, and 2, receive the proposed 2024 Board of Management draft budget for the Downtown Renfrew Business Improvement Area, and number 3, endorse the appointments of directors for the Downtown Renfrew Business Improvement Area Board of Management for the remainder of the 2022-2026 council term. Mover? Okay, and I'll second that. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? None is carried. Thank you very much. And thank you for the presentation. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And McDougall Mill Museum, please.
Hello, and thank you very much for letting us speak. And I'm Marty Bowe. I'm the president of the Renfrew District Historical and Museum Society. Oh, do I have to? Could everybody hear that part? I'd like to introduce our wonderful and dedicated volunteer board that is here today with us. 2 of them weren't able to attend, but Claire Rubel, Mike Bohr, Brent Belanger, Dave Lemke, and Don Eady. And especially Debbie Hill, who will be leading our presentation this afternoon. We're very fortunate to have her sit on our board, as she's educated in local government and studies and has over 35 years of experience in leading arts, heritage, cultural, and development programs at a municipal level. I am now going to let Debbie take the lead.
So I'll get you to move to the next slide. It's been long documented that the town and the society must collaborate to improve the organizational health and sustainability of the McDougall Mill Museum. In 2022, the society informed council at that time that it could not operate beyond the end of that fiscal year, and requested a funding increase of $120K so that a full-time curator could be hired. At that time, council directed staff to work with the society to prepare a formal operating agreement and level of operating and capital budgets. We were informed, excuse me, that only an additional $17K would be made available for the 2023 year, and that the remaining funding and hiring of the full-time curator would be deferred to the 2024 budget. Sure. Turn it on. Oh, no. It is green. Sorry about that. So in October 2023, the society presented another formal request. Next slide, please. that the town take over the operating responsibilities once again. This current council directed staff to review this request and bring forward an implementation plan, including a potential ongoing partnership with the society as part of the 2024 budget. We are here today to support the operating funding increase that has been included in the 2024 budget in order to hire a full-time curator, and that an operating agreement between the society and the town be completed that delineates roles, responsibilities, terms and conditions, reporting requirements, and funding levels. Next slide. So you're probably asking, why is this funding increase needed? And there are 5 main reasons. Number 1, to fulfill the heritage stewardship responsibility. Renfrew's museum is an important cultural institution that has been in existence for 54 years and is a significant landmark of Renfrew. The town has a fundamental commitment to the preservation, presentation, and sustainability of culture in Renfrew through its community museum and other cultural institutions such as the library and heritage organizations. Heritage stewardship recognizes that each generation has a responsibility to care for heritage resources and to preserve them for future generations. The preservation, not just of the building itself, but of the countless stories and artifacts describing the building of our community, are part of this responsibility. Over 1,100 residents and individuals connected to Renfrew have donated artifacts with the trust that these artifacts are safe, properly cared for, made accessible to the public, and kept in perpetuity. Currently, preservation standards, documentation, research, and interpretation are not at adequate levels. Number 2, to maintain public access. The museum operates 7 days a week, 7 hours a day from mid-May to the beginning of September. Tours in the off-season can be arranged by appointment. Over 1,600 visitors enjoyed the museum in 2023, including school groups, summer camps, and special interest tours. This number does not include our outreach activities such as the Canada Day at Mattaway, the Community Showcase event, the Caboose-a-thon display, and the museum's own fundraising event attended by close to 400 residents. Visitor statistics has revealed that the museum is well supported by local residents, with over 30% of the visitors coming from this town. This number bumps up to 45% for the Renfrew County, and then 45% from Ontario and Quebec locations, and 10% from the rest of Canada and international locations, including the US, Europe, South America, Asia, and the Middle East. This clearly shows that the museum is an important resource for local residents, as well as an attraction for tourists. Keeping the museum open to the public is heavily reliant on staffing levels funded from grants. Also, a condition of funding requires full-time supervision of funded staff. With the retirement of key board members, positions have not been filled, requiring existing board members to take on additional responsibilities. Burnout, retention, and inability to attract volunteers is real and problematic. Number 3, to fulfill core functions and mandate. The province of Ontario has identified the minimum of 10 standards for the operation of a good community museum. That includes governance, finance, collections, exhibition, interpretation, education, conservation, physical plant, community, and human resource standards. Again, the inability to attract skilled volunteers hinders progress in many of these areas. In order to build audiences and re-attract visitors, a dynamic rotation of exhibits that are properly researched for narrative context is necessary. The museum needs to be modernized, including digitization. Number 5, to build professional leadership. The town employs professionals who have a specific skill set, knowledge, and experience in all of its operations, such as recreation, library, planning departments, etc. The museum deserves to be treated the same. You cannot run such an important institution on the back of volunteers. The society lacks the organizational capacity to sustain operations. The town of Arnprior has recognized the importance of its museum. It employs professional staff with a net operating budget of $235,000 in 2023. Next slide, please. So you're probably asking, what does a curator do? Museum curators preserve and protect cultural artifacts, ensuring their physical integrity and safekeeping for future generations. They are responsible for conserving and restoring artworks, manuscripts, and historical items. Curators manage acquisitions, loans, and deaccessions. They maintain detailed records of each item in the collection, ensuring legal and ethical compliance. This meticulous management guarantees the integrity of the museum's holdings. The museum curator is a versatile professional, blending deep knowledge of art and history with innovative approaches to engage diverse audiences. Their role extends beyond preserving artifacts. They are cultural custodians, educators, and storytellers, shaping museums into dynamic and inclusive spaces for learning and inspiration. Although the museum operation is seasonal, the curator requires the off-season time to apply for staffing grants, undertake research, complete artifact documentation, build new exhibits, develop programs and events. Also, the curator can provide support to other heritage organizations and other municipal functions, such as corporate record keeping. Next slide. So as you move forward with your waterfront plans, your arts and heritage and cultural plan, please recognize that the museum is a critical piece that needs to be addressed first. The museum is an integral anchor component and can play a significant role not only in culture, but in your waterfront development plans. Please support the 2024 budget increase to hire a full-time curator. So this concludes our presentation tonight, but I would like to reinstate that we truly recognize the role that the town plays, and we welcome the opportunity to continue to collaborate with the town. And we'd also like to acknowledge the support of Kelly Thompson, Councillor Andrew Dick, Robert Tremblay, and all of council. The building improvements to the mill, the roof, the windows, and the pest control, and the new sidewalk have all been greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Comments, questions?
Through you, Chair, just a comment, actually. Thank you for the presentation. It was well done. I just want to thank all the volunteers and everybody that keeps the doors opened through the period that the museum's open throughout the year, so we really appreciate that, and looking forward to working with you. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you. And CO Tremblay, please.
Thank you, and thanks to the delegation and also Debbie's expertise. So as we were looking at the Arts Heritage Master Plan, she was very important to us in terms of structuring the RFP well, even as we reviewed firms, qualified firms to assist us with that work. So having crossed paths with Debbie at the City of Ottawa back in the day, it's great to have her expertise among us as a volunteer, and we thank the board. I think generally across the board, volunteer-run organizations are facing volunteer burnout, and I think this organization has done a lot of great work, and we have the BIA before us that has had a levy at $65,000 for more than a decade. So there comes a point where that comes calling. In terms of next step, the budget does include us assuming the staffing-related costs because we were involved in the building maintenance piece, and we recognize the society's important role in terms of the care and maintenance of the collection. So you'll see that as part of the budget and the costs associated with that. What we did provide last year was a $50,000 operating grant, so that would offset some of the costs, the additional costs. But Kelly, in partnership with the existing curator and Debbie and Audrey and the whole team, has provided some budget estimates that you'll see in the budget. In terms of an agreement that would help structure this new relationship, which is an old relationship that was not structured with an agreement, we will have an agreement that will help structure that. And also the staff and the professional folks that we have and the students, even, the students can help us with visitor information, and we can look at opportunities for dovetailing. But those resources can be brought to bear on other things. So as we've heard in other reviews about documentation management, archive management, records management generally, they can assist. They could also assist with other groups doing great work in the town, including Heritage Renfrew or the NHA NHL Museum. So we hope to be able to articulate that when we get to the budget. And thanks, Kelly, for her leadership on the file, and Councillor Dick, who's been really connected to the group and bringing back information back and forth for staff. So just want to talk about next steps.
Thank you. And would you like to say something, or are you content?
Just that it has been a real learning experience and a great pleasure working with the society thus far. And yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing, what we can do next. And it's definitely a very dedicated group of people who have kept the museum going thus far, and it's much appreciated.
Yes, thank you very much on behalf of the mayor and council for your long-time efforts in keeping the museum at a standard that's made it a special place for our community and our extended community. And we do recognize volunteers get tired and need to move on. Some of us are volunteers in our other lives, and you need a fresh challenge sometimes, or you have to focus on other things. So thank you very much. And if we could get your by email just your written comments on the stats, the visitor stats, that'd be really helpful, if you don't mind, please.
Certainly.
Good. Thank you very much. And we'll be having a discussion of budget. And Your Worship, good to see you back in the chambers. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Thank you.
Next, we have C4, which is the presentation of the Renfrew Public Library. Oops, sorry, no, it's not. It's the Community Services. Sorry, my apologies. Moved a little too quick. C3, the presentation of the Community Services Monthly Update, please.
Thank you. Through you, Chair, we will present this. Do you have the slide? Sorry.
I do have it. Unfortunately, it is currently crashing, so you might need to get started without it.
I'm a good chatter. So it's been about a month since we last did our update, December 12th. The latter part of December, we had 3 large events taking place, so it's been busy. Beginning of January, we've had a bunch of our programs starting back up again, so it's been busy again. So we're doing well. So we started off mid-December with our holiday celebration and solstice walk. That was in partnership with the Renfrew Public Library. We did have a low attendance for that. Not sure why. just holiday seasons probably and busyness, but we had the fire department come and do a story time with the families there. We had a sing-along of some Christmas carols, and we went out for a solstice walk on the Algonquin Trail with a guide from OV-CATA. So that was, it was really nice to kick off the holidays with that event. And then on New Year's Eve, we had 2 events. Thanks, Kelly. No, just kidding. So we had a daytime event, which all of council was at, so thank you to our council. All 7 of you were there and helped with that event. We had between 175 and 200 people attend that morning event. At noon, we did a little celebration instead of midnight with the families and children that were there. We do recognize that we ran out of a few different items, and they are noted for next year so that we get more supplies for that. So it was a very well-attended event, and we look to bring that back again. Again, thank you to council for attending. You can see in this picture, thank you for the slide. All of council was there. There's your pretty faces. And then just some before and after pictures of the hall before it filled up and when it was nice and full. It was a great event. It was very eye-opening for me. So then we tore down everything and set up for our New Year's Eve dinner and dance. We sold 103 tickets to that event. We had some really good feedback from Schmidt's Catering in Pembroke from their buffet dinner. It was really well received. Richmond Ramblers Band, who is not from Richmond despite their name, they are local to Renfrew County. They provided our live music for the event, and they were really well received as well. And I just want to do a little shout out to our recreation department for all of their setup and tear down for both events on that day. It was a big day, but it was well received morning and night. So program registrations, January kicks off the start for all of our new programs starting up again. We had over 300 registrations from December until last week. In the following programs listed there. So popular programs that we have, the youth cooking classes sold out, dancer-size pop-up sold out, gymnastics is sold out, kinder gym sold out, parkour is sold out, pickleball is sold out every week. So we're doing really well. Programs are happening, and they're starting to come recognize them and sign up for them, which is great. So yeah, that's programs. Upcoming programs and events happening for the end of January and February. You can see them listed here, so just some stuff that's about to start. The biggest event that we've got coming up is our Fruit Fest Family Day Winter Carnival. We are looking for sponsors right now to offset some of those costs. We have been receiving some already, which is great, and we're just continuing that over the next week or two to fulfill that before we really get into the advertising of the event. Community outreach. So the big thing that we've got coming up right now is DCAR, which is doing our Arts, Heritage, and Culture Master Plan. They're coming into Renfrew tonight, and they'll be at some different locations over the next 4 days, just talking to the public, getting some feedback about arts, heritage, and culture, and really getting that master plan underway. We're also continuing that work with Kate Monahan and Becky Wright of their consulting companies for the CS Murray grant. We've got our staff training date booked for February 22nd, and we also are doing the mural out at the Visitor Information Center, and that's all scheduled underway and blocked off to begin. We did hire our programs assistant.
Sorry, Janine, can I just jump in? Just for the CS Murray and for the mural, there will also be community consultations for the mural. So watch online. You will see where they'll be asking for resident input. So sorry, just want to throw that in.
No, I should have mentioned that. That is a big part, which is lovely. Yeah, so program assistant, I believe all 3 of you have met her. She started on Monday, and I'm very thankful to have some help in our department, as it is very busy, and we're trying to continue the work that we are doing, which is nice to have those extra hands. We did do our quarterly meeting as well with some of the different service clubs and organizations with the town of Renfrew. We met at the Visitor Information Center last Monday. There was 8 in attendance, so it's really nice for us to collaborate our ideas, get out different important dates that we've got going on we already know about over the course of the year, so we're not duplicating on those important dates, as well as we're not duplicating on programs and events, right? So, and collaborating together to make events bigger and better, rather than competing with each other, which is great. And the next little thing that we are doing is, attending the senior fair with the Golden Age Activity Center in February. So that's it. Sorry, you can go to the next slide. And these are just some of the different organizations that we've been working with over the last month. Any questions or comments?
Comments, questions? Councillor Legree?
Through you, Chair, I just want to again thank Community Outreach Specialist, Program Specialist Fraser. I guess you put your heart and soul into all these programs. That's why they're successful. I was talking to Councillor McDonald at the not Fruit Fest, but the New Year's Eve thing, and watching you running around and making sure everything was perfect and taking notes for next year. So it went noticed for sure. So thank you for everything you do. Appreciate it.
Yes, and if I might add, thank you for that, because as we've said repeatedly, you can have a house in a community, but you need the experiences to tie you to the community and make you want to stay there and invest and start a family or continue after your family has grown. So, by providing a series of experiences which turn into memories, and then also expectations for the next year, it makes the community a much wholer community. So thank you for that. Okay, so with that, we'll move to the library report, please.
Thank you, through you, Chair. So December, January, do we have our? No.
It's coming.
Okay, that's okay. That's all right. I can just go ahead. So at the library, just a few quick numbers for the month. We had over, for the month, we had over 2,000 visits to the library. Another 20 new patrons were welcomed. 4,000 items were circulated. We continue to get more volunteers. We've actually kind of running out of some work, so we've had to turn a couple people away, which is unfortunate, but we're looking forward to, through the town, implementing a volunteer program in the coming months. So they provide over 50 hours of service. Over $800 were fundraised or donated, including, as a shout out, we had one of our staff helped an individual from the States find some local history information, and he actually emailed us or mailed us a donation for the help that he had, and we had over 300 people participate in the programs. So coming up in December, January, there's another, we had over, in these ones alone, 125 participants. We just got notice, which I'm not sure my staff even knows yet. We have what's called Fiero Code Club. And it's a database, but we also do coding clubs and stuff with local kids. And in the 8 to 12-year-old group, they run challenges 3 times a year. They had these kids from all over the world submit their challenges, and it was a young girl from Renfrew who actually won. So it's pretty impressive. We haven't notified her yet, so I'm not going to say her name, but it's a pretty big deal. So it was kind of neat to see that it was for the Renfrew resident run it. So there's lots of things still coming up, including take and make kits. Our outreach continues, homebound delivery continues, board game cafe. We do, and another thing we do is we do exam invigilation for various universities. Our main one is generally Athabasca. A lot of distance learning students write their final exams at the library, and we invigilate those. So then there was 125 in the adult department, and then we had the children's department. We had over 200 people participating in the children's programs. Again, the Let's Talk Science kits continues to be very popular. We also did a scavenger hunt that the children's department runs every December, which is always fun. So we had lots of little ones running around. And then upcoming, Hands-on Tuesdays continues. There is a list of there, but one of the things that we are continuing is the Seniors Memory Project, where we're encouraging people to come in and tell us their stories of how they got to Renfrew, and we have been curating those, and so far you can go on our website and actually see the people who have given their stories in. We will be adding the audio component to that before long, so we're looking forward to that. And then, go ahead. And then these are just some pictures from the different events that happened in December. And once again, the residents of Renfrew are always very supportive of the library, and it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Comments, questions?
Again, I'll just say thank you for, there's so much stuff that's going on here. I don't know how you keep track of it, and like the numbers, you know, some people say libraries are dying with all the internet and stuff like that, but when you look at the stats, you know what I mean, like it amazed me when I came on council and started looking at this and seeing how many people actually visit the library and all the stuff you do. And it's great to see the fire service there over there helping, you know, taking time out and reading stories and stuff like that. So yeah, kudos to you and your team, CEO Thompson. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. I'll just repeat thank you. Is there anything else? Okay, seeing nothing else, then we'll move on to D2.1. And the motion is that the Community Services and Economic Advisory Committee recommend Renfrew Town Council approve the terms of reference for the Economic Development Advisory Committee. So with that, I'll ask for a mover, please. Councillor Legree, I'll second it. And we'll have the report, please.
Thank you. I'll keep this fairly brief. So as we move forward with our economic development initiatives, the Economic Development Advisory Committee was approved by Council in October of 2023. So as part of the process, this is to approve the terms of reference for that advisory committee. And attached on the report in Appendix A, you will see the terms of reference laid out. And the mandate is that the Economic Development Advisory Committee is mandated to ensure that the town of Renfrew is proactive in economic development and tourism. The committee will make recommendations regarding business expansion and retention, visitor attraction, and strategies to position the town for growth. So essentially what we're looking to do through this group is to have both staff and individuals from the public at large that would ideally make up a number of business sectors within our community to elicit some conversation, ideas, and just some expertise from those external stakeholders that they then can bring as an advisory committee to this committee to then forward to council for execution, information, so on and so forth. So as part of this endeavor, the terms of reference are just formalizing this group, and once they are approved by council, staff will then go to the public and seek individuals to sit on the committee.
Okay, thank you. Questions? A very quick question. The four representatives from the business sector and the representative of the downtown BIA and the Renfrew Area Chamber of Commerce, will we have paperwork for them to sign? Because sometimes there may be some confidential information. I think we used to have that in a package.
Yes, yeah. With any activities of this sort, they will be subject to the specific policies within the town as committee members. So we will have certain paperwork for them to sign and just to cover ourselves that way.
Perfect, thank you. And I might add that I understand that the RED grant applications will be opening up this month. I think I got a note in my package from somewhere.
Yes, staff is apprised and currently working on a proposal.
Awesome, thank you. Nothing further? Okay, thank you. This is great. We should do this more often. So with that, we'll move to E1, which is, sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we did. Sorry. I moved forward a little too fast. Thank you. I'm in favor.
All in favor?
All in favor, yeah. All right, so next is the E1, which is a request from Mr. Scott. Sorry.
If I may.
Yes.
Since council has already directed staff to look at inclusion broadly, including the potential mural project at the Visitor Information Center, and we have the grant work that's been undertaken on inclusion and diversity, we recommend that this request be forwarded to that and the consultants, and that we would look at that and any other recommendations flowing from the consultants when that final report is available. So we recommend this just be noted and filed, and that Director Thompson would forward it over to the consultant team.
Thank you. Staff direction, or do we need a motion?
I think we could note it in the file, that it's been noted and filed and passed on to the CS Mayor Grant consultant team.
Great, thank you. And the E2, which is the BIA minutes, we just make note of them. We don't pass a motion. They're for information.
Just noted and filed.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns from them? No? Seeing none, thank you. And our committee minutes from December 12th, 2023, that the Corporate Services and Economic Development Committee confirmed the minutes of committee meeting 2-2023 dated December 12, 2023. Mover? And I'll second that. Pardon me? Oh, that's right.
All in favor?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody in favor? Opposed? None? My apologies. I just too many different places this last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And with that, I would suggest to you that we are adjourned now at 2:48, with our next meeting to be scheduled for February the 20th, 2024. So we're adjourned. Thank you very much.